Please learn the business. Package yourself with information. Don't package yourself with ignorance and fear. Many people, what they have very well, they have a lot of fear. They are so emotional in the marketplace. When you are so emotional in the marketplace, you make a lot of mistakes. Good morning, everyone. Where are the rest? Where are the rest? Where are the rest for sure? You know what I feel bad if people don't attend the trainings and then at the end of the day they come in your inbox. Hello, leader. I didn't understand margin calls. What is cycle? And you are like, do you attend training? They're like, sometime. And I'm like, now, if you attend sometimes, why do you want to understand it? You start attending fully. These trainings are there on YouTube. In case you miss them, just go on YouTube, rewatch it again. And we are going to have a Luganda training. It will be always at 8 p.m. starting next Monday. We are going to have a Luganda session. For people who don't understand English, but you understand Luganda. Luganda is the most spoken local language here in Uganda, and our biggest market, they speak that language. So let's do it. Let's do it. Where are the rest? Now let's do this. Let's do this this exercise. Let's go in our training. I am but again, so my brother Leo, I'll remove you from this training. Don't unmute yourself. Let's go in the training group. We post there that we are live. Let's go in our training group. Let's go in our training group. Let's go in the game changers. Let's go in the diamonds. We post there that we are live right now. We are live right now. We are live. We are live. Thank you so much. Okay. I think you have seen how the market is really changing. Have you seen that? Have you seen that? Have you seen how the market is changing? The market is changing. I want you to look at the markets. Yesterday, when I was training you, I gave you an example of WLD USDT. It was my study case when I was training you. Even the information is still available. Even the information is still available. We are looking at this coin. By the time we are reading this coin, it had gone down to 2.4 and 2.5. Right now, it is at 2.6, and it had reached up to $2.8. So the market will change anytime, any day. You get the point? That's why one of the things you should do, you should make margin calls your best friend. Look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. Are you seeing Bitcoin? For the past week, Bitcoin came from 45,000, then it dropped back to 41,000. People panicked. Oh my God. People panicked. They were like, applying my money. Should I sell at loss? I think I'm going to lose money. My coin is in -30. Will it come back? People are very funny. People are very, very funny for sure. Will it come back? I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You bought a robot. Let the robot do the job. Come on, you go and look for capital. Your job is to look for a capital. I want you to remember back then, 500 years back, our ancestors used the horses. They just walked during those days. There was a lot of panic in the time in that time along the way when they had journeys. I want you to imagine you are riding a horse, then you are crossing in the forest. The fear would be so high. You're like, what if there is a lion? Man, what if there is a leopard? Your fear is too high, right? You are crossing the forest. It's a very big forest. You are going to see someone who is, for example, 20 miles ahead. The fear is too high because what you are even riding is also a creature. It is a living thing, which also has emotion. Because I believe if the horse sees a lion, it will run too. Is it the same fear we have today if we are when we are riding cars? No, it's not. You get my point? It is not. It's not. So if you are trading today and you are using a robot to trade for you, why do you have fear? Fear for what? Let the robot do the job. Let the robot do the business. Come on, my brother and sister. You go out and look for capital. That is your job. You go and look out for capital. Let the robot do its job of trading. You can't do both. You can't look for capital and you are in the market at the same time. You get my point? You can't do both. You cannot. Today, there is this kind of trade settings about margin calls. I want to teach you. Someone was like, leader, I want you to enlighten more about the trading system of having only four margin calls and how it works. Today, I want everyone to understand it very well. I want you to understand the benefits of having only four margin calls. Okay? The benefits of having only four margin calls. I'm having this trade, it's called WLD. It's having only four margin calls. It's having only four margin calls. And I want to teach you how you can use only four margin calls to generate income and you make crazy money from Robotic business. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to learn? We're going to learn this for 30 minutes. First of all, for our new people, margin calls mean buying low. That's what it means. Whenever you hear the word margin calls, it means buying low. That means we are buying when the prices go down. That's when we buy margin calls. You get my point? So now, in most cases, we have two types of trading strategy. Some people have many margin calls, others have less. What are the benefits and what is the difference? Let's assume my trading capital is $500 and I have 20 margin calls. That means every margin call is using $25. Liner, gotta work. Gotta hold you. So that means every margin call is using only $25. $25 to buy each margin call. 25 times 20, that is 500. Then someone can decide that with $500, I'm only going to have 4 margin calls. That means each margin call will use $100 plus the first buying amount. Those are the 5 buys, which is equivalent to $500. What is the difference between these two types of trading? Are you ready to learn? I want you to learn your robot. I want you to understand your robot. I want you to test. I have taught you very many strategies. Test them. What works for you, stick to that. Okay? What works for you, stick to that. In case my voice, for example, get lost, someone unmute yourself and notify me in time. So today we are going to look at what is the benefits of having many margin calls and having less. Let's first look at having many. When you have many margin calls, one of the benefits is you are going to get what we call sub-sales. I think you have ever been in trading and you find when your robot has sold sub-sales. How do you know that? Go to your robot here, tap in the corner here, you are going to see the sub-sales. This is a sale, but always there is a message here, sub-sale. Sub-sale means your robot has sold a number of margin calls somewhere. The robot was designed to sell margin calls independently, starting from the 50th margin call up to infinity, up to the 999th margin call. Let's assume you have 999 margin calls. The robot can sell them independently. Beside the first 4, the first 4 margin calls are sold at once, but starting from the 50th up to the last margin call, the robot has a possibility of selling them independently. So that means if the market goes down like this, we are trading WLD. WLD starts to go down, going down, up a little bit, down. So your robot will have a chance to be selling these sub-sales. Okay? Selling these sub-sales. When you're having many margin, because people are trading with many margin, because you know what I'm talking about. And you are free to adjust your robotic settings. What percentage do you want your robot to sell sub-sales? By default, when we go to settings, tap trade settings, then you tap. Let's assume here I have 10 margin calls. I'll be given what we call distributed and take profit allocation. If I tap them by default, the robot has 1.3%. Sub-sell, take profit, take profit, distributed and take profit allocation. From the 50th call, from the 50th sub position up to infinity, the robot sells them at 1.3%. Those are the default settings, but you can adjust. You can say, for me, I'm selling at 2%. My margin call. If you know how to read the market, if your robot buys a lot of margin call, and then you are saying this coin is going to pump again, you can even come here and tell it, sell my last margin call at 10%. You are free. You are free, my dear. You are free. You can be like, I'm going to deduct only 1%. The robot will follow your orders and it will make you very money. But of course, these should be calculative moves. Don't just come and adjust the way you think. Because if you give a very high take profit for a sub-sale, for a margin call, Do you know what the robot will do? It will delay in selling them. The better thing is give them a small take profit ratio in that they sell repeatedly. Robot here ekola sente repeatedly. Are we understanding what I'm talking about? When you give your robots a smaller percentage, like for example, the default one, 1.3%, that means a robot has a possibility of selling this margin call very fast. And then at the end of the day, it also buys it very fast. So it keeps doing the same thing continuously, buying, selling, buying, selling. Let me explain it in a broader way. Let's assume this is the 6th margin call. So the market has gone down. We have bought the 5th, no, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Now the 9th, it has gone up here. The robot sells it. After selling it at only 1.3%, then the market comes down again. That means it will buy the 9th margin call again. If the market goes up, it sells it. The market comes down, it buys it. The market goes up, it sells it. So the robot can buy and sell the 9th margin call 5 times. But if your take profit was too high, 10%, the robot will not sell it repeatedly. It will have to wait for it to hit the 10%, which might not be is according to the market at the current price, at the current time. And then you will just see your robot buying without selling. So my advice is don't give a very high percentage before you calculate. Are we getting the point? Now, less margin calls. What are the benefits of having less margin call? First of all, you are selling in a wall warehouse. I told you whenever I train margin calls, I usually tell you that wall warehouse is the most benefiting trading mode. Is the most benefiting trading mode. Why? Because your robot is buying a coin at different levels, but is selling them at once, hence leading to giving you more profits. You try it. When a coin is in wall warehouse, it makes more profit, more than a coin in sub-bin real-time settlement. The problem with the wall warehouse is if the market goes down, you have to wait for it to come back. But if your margin calls are allocated very well, do you know what's up? The robot is going to cut the negative very fast. Let me give you an example. If we bought WLD at $3.5, the market dropped to $3, the market dropped to $2.5. Here, my robot put in $100. Then here, it put in another 100. Then here, put in another 100. When we buy each robot, each coin at 3.5 times $100, $100 divided by 3.5, how much do we get? How much do we get? 100 divided by 3.5. We get 28 world coin. So here, let me change the color. Here we have got 28.5 world coins. Now, the market drops. We put in another 100. We divide by $3. Here we are getting 33 world coins. Then the market drops again. We put in another 100 divided by $2.5. This is the price. This is the amount of money we have injected in. This time round, we are getting 40 world coins. So 40 plus 33 plus 28.5. We are getting a total of 101.5 world coins. So if the market comes back, even at the first average price, we can sell all our coins. So let's do the math. We have injected in $300. Okay. So now we have 101 world coins. Let's assume our robot is selling them at 3.7. That is the take profit. So we are selling them at 3.7. How much do we get? We are getting 375.55. That means this is the profit. $75.55. Are you getting what I'm talking about? Because the $300 was the capital. Now this extra is the profit. So if I'm trading with Wall Warehouse, my robot makes more profits. And this is the strategy I want to teach you today in the next 15 minutes to close our today's training. My brothers and sisters, don't have cram work. Be a learned person. We are learning different things. Apply what you want. Let's assume this is the strategy. Let's assume I'm having $500 to inject in a coin. And I decide that I'm going to use a strategy of less margin calls. Less margin calls means only 4. So you are going to divide this money by 5. Why not 4? Because there is a first buying amount. It is also a buy. Remember, the robot first buys the first buying amount, then it buys the first margin call, the second, the third, and the fourth. Those are the 5 buys. So the robot uses your capital to buy 5 times. So don't make a mistake and do divide by 4. No, it should be divided by 5. So if we get our 500 divided by 5, the answer is 100. So this 100 we get as an answer is the first buying amount. So when we are doing our trade settings, you come here, my strategy setting, we make it 100. Switch off the AI margin call button. Switch off the AI margin call button. Why? When the AI margin call button is on, the robot will use the default settings. Okay? This is a proven system. If you leave that button on, the robot will use its default settings, the smart strategy. And you'll be like, how comes? Yeah, you left that button on. So here, put only 4. Don't put 5. Put 4. 4 margin calls. Because we studied that when the robot is buying margin calls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These first 4 margin calls are counted as whole warehouse. So the word is whole. So the robot sells them at once. The first 4 margin calls, it doesn't matter what was the draw. The first 4 will be sold at once. Starting from the 50th, these are sold independently. Do you remember that? So that's why here we are putting only 4, because we don't want sub-sales. We want our robot to buy differently and sell at once. I want you to try this strategy. If it works for you, stay with it. If it doesn't, go back to roots. Take profit, you can give it 1.5, you can give it 2%, whatever you want. If you're trading signals, you can follow what's on the signal. Now, the drop. Remember, I told you, never trade. Never trade when your drop is less than 30%. You remember this rule? People who have not been following this rule, I know it ended in tears last week. Omuzungu agamba atya, didn't it? Question tag. Didn't it end in tears? I know it ended. How can you trade with the 5% drop? I'm still looking at you people. 5%? Hey, you think crypto ya jajao? Hey, my dear. Boom! Bitcoin went back to 41,000. Solana came from $118 back to 90. Can you imagine? Back to 90. You people, you should learn this business. If you do, you won't suffer. You won't suffer. Just look at Solana. Solana is one of my best coins. Look at Solana, what it did. From here, 120. Back to here, $87. What is that? Katopime. Let me use my hands. Look at this. What is that drop? 27%, almost 30. If you were trading Solana, it dropped 27%. For you are having settings of 5%. Why won't you cry in the market? You will always crying for us. Floating loss. Floating loss. The problem is you are having bad strategies. Your trading system should be, your trading drop, your drop percentage should be not less than 30%. Otherwise, make 40% a standard measure. My advice, until the bull run finally kicks in, when the bull run comes, then you are free to add just 15%. But at the moment, please, I advise 40%. What do you lose? So come here, come to your robot, start putting here 10. Make sure they drop 10%, 40%. You can even here decide to give it 2% only and put here 18. It is still the same thing, 40%. This is 10, 12, 20, 12, 22, that is 40. Why do you put 2 here? Maybe you wanted your robot to buy faster, the first margin call. Make sure they drop out 40%. You can even decide that my first two margin calls, I want the robot to buy them very fast. So you make this 5%. You make this 5, you have to come here and add just put the balance here, the 5. At the end of the day, it is still 40%. So whatever the case, the numbers here must be covering 40%. So when you come here on the times, make them 1 times. 1 times. Each drop is buying with $100. Okay? 1 times 100 is 100. Imagine a coin drops 2%, it injects in another 100. If it had the negative will go away. Now the market drops, finds the 5%, it buys, puts in another $100. Now the market waits up to 15%, it buys again. You will never be in floating loss, by the way, this kind of trading strategy. The more it buys at a very higher drop, the more it will cut the negative. The more it will cut the negative. You get my point? Then you are like, the buying callback 0.2. You can leave it in cycle. Then you are like, how do we call this? Less margin call, less MC. We have named it less MC. So this is our trading strategy of less MC. This strategy will make for you money, by the way. You are trading in one warehouse. A robot is collecting a quantity of margin of these coins in margin call groups. You are going to make money, you're going to enjoy. All strategies work. You do one thing, practice. Practice. What works best, stick to that. What works best, stick to that. So that's what we wanted to learn today. If you follow it, you never know. I want to see people who would love to try it. You will tell us how it's working for you. It works very well. It will collect for you good quantity of these coins, and it will make for you good money. Again, saying you are going to make good money. Okay, you are going to make good money. You are going to make very, very good money. Hope we have learned something. Have we learned something? Have we learned something? Who has learned something? Ana Inacha Isaac. Who has learned something? Any questions before we close our training? Yes, we have 3 minutes to close our training. Any questions? Any questions? You come in the chat box, put your question, I answer it. Put your question, I answer it. Yes. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Have we learned something? The main goal is to learn how to use your robot. If you learn how to use your robot, you're going to make crazy money. Margaret is saying, if I have $100, is it 100 or 1,000? If I have 100, of course, divide by 5, that's 2020. Even if you have $100, it works. It works. Divide by 5, that means the first buying amount is $20. Same drop. Have you got it, Margaret? You just understand the formula. Because someone will ask, if I have 300, same concept, divide by 5. The answer you get is the first buying amount. Good afternoon. So last week you promised us Lugana's session. So when are they starting? My brother Lubega Eric, the Lugana session zitandika kumande inshallah. Kumande. Yes, because I'm organizing more other trainers. I don't want to be the only trainer on this Zoom. We are going to get more other trainers who are going to be training us and give us information. So next Monday, bam, we're going to have a timetable of all those who are going to be giving us information. Kindly, if possible, go back to the margin call settings of 500 with the warehouse system, and I take a screenshot. Oswald, my brother, avoid cram work. Write down the what? The formula. They taught us formulas. What is the formula? Your capital. 500 divided by 5. You said 1,500. What was the question? Let me see. Okay, 500. 500 divided by 5 is 100. So when you come to your robot to do trade settings here, my strategy settings, 100 is the first buying amount. Margin calls 4. Margin configuration, you can do them like this. You can do 10-10, you can do 25, 15, 18. You can do what you want. Make sure that they cover 40%. One times, confirm, save. Leave it in cycle. Those settings will make for you money. Have you took a screenshot? Oswald is like, take a screenshot. Have you taken a screenshot here? Take a screenshot here. I think you are done. Margin configuration, take a screenshot. This is where the real business is. On the margin configuration, when we what is sent on business. If you don't understand this part, put in business. Margin configuration is where business is. Hope you have taken a screenshot, bro. I'm waiting for other questions. Anaina ekibuuzo. Ani aina ekibuuzo. We close this training. Thank you, bro. You're welcome. Oswald, you're welcome. You can try that strategy. It can make for you good money. And in cycle, go back to your cycle trading, Z. Go back to your WLD, CFXC, INJ. People who are trading Kava. People who are trading BCH. People who are trading Solana. People who are trading Neo. People are trading very many coins. People are trading ICP. ICP is a good coin in cycle. Trade it to make for you good money. We are done. Thank you so much for attending, leaders. Have a great time. See you at the top. If you missed something, you can go back to YouTube. This was a live stream on YouTube. Go on our YouTube channel, rewatch the training. People who have missed it, you have a friend who has been busy at this time, please go and advise them to go on our YouTube channel and they learn. Come again to YouTube. Training again. Thank you so much for attending. Have a great day. See you.